Still, my opponent will say people drives economy. For your kind information, people are important, just like ingredients are important for cooking. But what happens with the chef and the government is the dash chef who will organize the people, peoples and create job opportunities. As the saying goes, you can't drive a car without drivers. And the government is the head of the nation, responsible for its direction, progress, and stability. However, Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Sheuli before you, and I am the first speaker of my team A. My team consists of 5 members: Rafa, Mitu, Ahanaf, and Mim, including I. Today, presenting here our honorable judges, respected hosts, and my opponents, as well as my lovely audience. Thank you all for your valuable time and efforts, as well as hearing to me. Well, development is the dream of every nation, but what is the main factor behind it? Is it government or population? Undoubtedly, it's government. And so I and my whole team strongly argue that development is the true driving force behind a country's development, and inshallah today we will prove it. Development is the dream of every nation, right? And at the heart of this development, the driving force, the government. So without effective governance, no amount of population or national resources can steer our nation towards progress. Now I have some arguments. Firstly, infrastructure development. Our honorable judges, infrastructure is one of the biggest contribution our nation towards progress. And infrastructure includes that bridges, railways, hospitals, and power plants, things that people or industries rely on to grow and thrive. The government is responsible for funding, building, and planning this system. Our honorable judges, let's take example, the United States. Its government funded interstate highway system, boosted trade, connected major cities, and similarly, India Golden Corridor Trail highway network system built a government, connected major cities, and has transferred trade and job opportunities in the country. Our honorable judges, now imagine a country without infrastructure, and the result is industry can function without electricity, business can improve good roads, and people can access without good hospitals. Still, my opponent will say people drives economy. For your kind information, people are important, just like ingredients are important for cooking. But what happens with the chef and the government is the dash chef who will organize the people, peoples, and create job opportunities. Now, my question to my opponent: if infrastructure is not developed by the government, how can industrial business function? Moreover, education and skill development. Our honorable judges, the government ensures education and skill development, which are critical turning a population into an asset. My dear opponents, for your kind information, our country's population is only valuable when it's educated and skilled. Because unskilled population is like an army with no weapons, large in size but unable to win any battles. So, my dear opponents, for your kind information, your so-called valuable population is like without government will remain unemployed and dependent. Our honorable judges, let's take South Korea as an example. South Korea invested heavily in their education after the Korean War. The government built schools, focused on training, and look to the South Korea is a global leader of technology and industry. And compare this, and in contrast, the weak educational system like Sub-Saharan Africa is struggle for their education. And our honorable judges, Finland is one of the greatest example for the educational system because it's making Finland is one of the biggest and most prosperous nation. Now, my question to my opponent: if government doesn't build in education, who will build the train teachers, or ensure equal opportunities for learning? After this, policy making power. Our honorable judges, policy is the foundation of development, and policies decide how a country's resources are managed, how industry grow, and how society function. Our honorable judges, let's take China as an example. In the 1980s, its government introduced economic reforms like opening markets and creating a special economic zone. And this transfer of China has the second largest economy in the world. Compare this to Venezuela, a large population with vast well reserve, which has led to unemployment, inflation, and poverty. Still, my opponents will say, despite having good government, why countries exist with poor governance? For your kind information, if some doctors are bad, will you say we don't need those doctors at all? The answer is no. At the same way, poor governance doesn't mean we don't need government at all. It proves importance of good governance. Now, my question to my opponent: without government policies, how would resources, industry, or even people be managed efficiently? Lastly, in conclusion, I think a large population without proper governance is like a ship without a captain, lost and directionless. Still, my opponents may argue for numbers, but without government vision, I think a large population will remain powerless. That's all about my today's argument. Well, it's just a Taylor full film is race. Assalamu alaikum.